going to start off with somewhat of a college football story, but I was looking through this article last night, and I was planning on holding it till probably tomorrow, but I didn't really know how we'd have discussion around it, so I think it's actually best for here. But then one of our earlier guests, I don't remember if it was Sam or Max, was just talking about their playoff bracket, and they were bringing up the amount of talent that Texas has, right? Like, y'all heard that part of it, and the talent is certainly a reason why you would go with Texas as maybe your college football playoff championship winner. But it was just, it clicked in my head when they said that. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, that's interesting, because just yesterday I was reading this article from Matt Miller, who we've actually known for quite a while, and he's been around. He was at Bleacher Report there for a while, years and years ago, and he's at ESPN and doing their draft coverage, and he came out with his draft tiers for every CFP team. And I don't typically get too caught up in this, but we had the conversation the other day. Paul, you weren't here, about the Giants and the Raiders jostling for number one, basically. Yeah. And that how if you look at mock drafts, Travis Hunter is like the top player or whatever. But I guess it depends on if you're looking, are they picking by team or are they picking by player? Mm-hmm. But either way, there's plenty that have Travis Hunter going like number one overall. But I'm looking at it, I'm going, okay, if it's the Giants or the Raiders, which it looks like it's probably going to be, you have to go Shedeur Sanders, right? Like, you have to go Shedeur Sanders. Yeah. So we just got kind of talking about that. But it was very interesting to me that Matt Miller looked at all of the playoff teams and broke them down by their NFL talent and who he expects to get drafted in the next few years, or in the next year or two. And for Oregon, for example, the number one team, they've got a couple first-rounders in Derek Harmon and Josh Connerly. He's got Evan Stewart as a possible second-round pick right now. Mm-hmm. They've got a trio of round-3 type picks with Jordan Birch and Terrence Ferguson and Tez Johnson, and it goes on and on. He's got Dylan Gabriel as a 6th-round pick. So they've got probably about 10 guys. But the whole reason I bring this up is because I looked at Texas's list, and by God, man, like, they've got, I mean, the talent, we know it's there, but it's kind of ridiculous what Sark's building up there now. No. They're looking at a draft where if it were to fall the way, and Matt Miller should say is a Texas fan, like a hardcore Texas fan. But you're looking at like maybe like 14 draft picks this year. Mm-hmm. If it falls the right way.
What did he have last year, 12?
Something like that. Yeah. But he's got Kelvin Banks Jr. as a first-round pick. He's got Jahdae Barron as a first-round pick.
Okay, yeah.
Cameron Williams, the offensive tackle, as another first-round pick. And then he's got Isaiah Bond, who dealt with some injuries, but still was pretty productive given that he wasn't the dude that you thought. But he's got him as a first-round pick. He's got Quinn Ewers if he were to come out as a second-round pick. Alfred Collins, a second-round pick. He's got Trey Moore, Andrew Makuba, Gunnar Helm as round 3 picks, Vernon Broughton, Matthew Golden, Jake Majors, Barron Sorrell, David Gabenda, Hayden Connor, the Broughton, Golden, Majors, and Michael Taff. He's got them as round 4 picks. I don't really have like a point here other than like, damn, Sark is, I mean, that's the era of NIL and everything, but I was just blown away by the amount of talent that they've accumulated, and the transfer portal helps, and being Big Bad Texas helps. But, yeah, you add all that up, and you're looking at, like, double-digit draft picks, and maybe that becoming, like, a common thing for them as a program and for the Georgias and Oregons of the world. But, man alive, I can see why you'd be won over by the amount of talent that they've put together down in Austin right now.
I read an article one time, of course, with being under Saban, a lot of guys have coached under Saban, have been resurrected under Saban, and not all of them have been able to then go and do exactly what he did. The depth they have, even though there are players they have that are leaving the portal, most of the time it's probably because they want them to, and they just replace them with someone better. The skill people they have, And there's a video that he put out, and I know this. There's a video he put out about. Did y'all see the video he put out about the GPA of Texas? Mm-mm. They are not just they've always been talented. They've always gotten 4- and 5-star guys. What he's done there to create the kind of players they have, mentally, physically, and gifted, is very dangerous if you're not a Texas fan.
And I have no love loss. I mean, y'all know that, but I respect. It's like I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I respect the Cowboys to the extent that I can without, getting into Jerry and all of that. I don't respect that as much. But you know what I'm saying, though. Like, you usually don't respect your rivals. Sometimes you do. And so I respect my rivals. And I like Sark, man, and I think he's done an incredible job, and the transfer portal definitely helps. But you look at some of these other teams, like Arizona State, Cam Scatterbo, like that's almost the entire list. He's got him as a 4th-round pick.
Yeah.
Maybe with the possibility to go higher if he has a big playoff. But the only other player, Shamari Simmons, their safety, he's got as a 6th-round pick.
Yeah.
So 2 guys. And one of it, if a 6th-round pick projection, like you might not even get drafted at all. So Cam Scatterbo is basically a mid-round pick. That is Arizona State's extent.
After the 4th round, it's a crap.
Oh, yeah, it's totally. It's might as well just flip, cards over. Boise State, round 1, Ashton Genty. Like, that's pretty much locked in. He's going to be the number 1 running back. But beyond that, Ahmad Hassanein, round 6, and Cage Casey, if he were to come out, their offensive tackle as a 7th-round pick. So you just see some of the disparity in the NFL talent levels, and it's just very impressive what Texas has built up under Sark. So I wanted to shout that out because it's just very interesting to see that Oregon's got their fair share, Georgia's got their fair share. But you remember, it wasn't that long ago, we were talking about them having drafts where 0 guys got selected.
Oh, yeah.
Twice that happened in the last decade or so. So I just, hats off to Sark, man. I'm not one to kiss their ass either by any stretch, but I do have to give credit where credit's due. And
Paxton wants to send you a Christmas gift.
He's building a monster.
But that's how you do. I mean, look, I think they thought, like, they were very bad developmentally for a long time. Where
there were some nuggets. Who's the offensive
Ellinger.
lineman at?
I mean, they had
who's the offensive lineman? Cosme?
Yeah.
Was it like
but like, but I'm.
But I know what you're saying.
But to be competitive on the level that they believe themselves to be capable of, which they clearly are, but, from 2010 until Sark got there, you're talking about, diminishing returns when it came to putting guys in the pros, and the teams that were winning the titles are the guys who are putting guys in the pros. So that's what you have to do to win the title, because you have pro-level players. Now, you don't have to have, and nobody's probably going to have the rosters anymore like, Alabama, LSU, Georgia did, where you've got 31 guys, all going to be 1st to 3rd round draft picks because of the way the portal works. But Texas has built a roster that not only gets players but develops them, because they would get guys that are 5 stars and turn them into accountants real fast.
Yeah, it's just impressive. And look, Oregon, Ohio State, some of the others on that list, it's not just them that has like this double-digit type of potential, but they definitely stand out with a number of top-round guys that they have on this team. And some of those will be decisions, like Ewers has to officially declare and others would have to officially declare. But, man, you're looking at a lot of big-time movement in terms of their pro roster with what he's done the last couple years and certainly what they've got ahead. And there's no reason for that to slow down. I saw a comment by Del Conte in some article he did where he was talking about how his job is basically to keep all the marbles in the box or something like that when it comes to boosters and donors, and that there was always talk from Darryl K. Roy or DKR about like the challenge at Texas is just keeping all the marbles in the box basically, or the BBs, and that his job is basically like, but if you do, like, you've got like something almost unstoppable because of all their resources. And so his job is basically like anytime like a little BB falls out of the box, he's got to go chase it down and grab it and put it back in the box. And so long as he does that, they should be a force to reckon with. And this is their era in terms of the way you can take advantage of things.
They have the spine from the president to the AD to the football coach.
Yeah.
Some schools are fortunate enough to do that. Sometimes they have it. They screw it up. But, no, they're in a very good place. And when we had Sark on in 2021 at Big 12 Media Days, whatever year that was, and he sat down with us, and I came away from there. I'm not a Texas fan. I was like, damn, man, I like him.
It's hard not to like him. If you talk to him,
Mac too, but I like Sark. What he's done.
I liked Mac too. Sark's different in his own way. He's a different person, of course, but yeah, he's doing a good job there.